Hello, and thank you for joining me at Stampin Sugarbeets. Today I'm going to show you how to make this awesome card using the stamp sets Wordplay and Send Me Soaring. And the sentiment I've chosen out of Wordplay is go confidently in the direction of your dreams. And I've got some little kites up there. And my embellishment are the mini brats. So you're going to start with a piece of Pool Party in 5.5 by 4 1/4. Now if you know me, you know that I like my corners rounded, so you'll see that I've already pre-rounded all these corners just to save time. So Pool Party in 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then a piece of Wild Wasabi in 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and then our decorated base is Very Vanilla in 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. You can always also use Whisper White. I just had a lot of Very Vanilla on hand, so I chose to use that. Now we are going to stamp off the clouds in Tempting Turquoise, and I didn't want such a dark look on the clouds since I'm using the same color for one of the kites. So what I did was I stamped off the page in Tempting Turquoise and then onto my decorative base, just to give it a lighter color. And I'm going to do that a couple of times just to add extra clouds in here. Stamp off and then on your page, and it's going to give you a really nice light look. And I'm going to leave it like that, just have some on the top, oops. And then next we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now I love StazOn, I love it a lot. You'll probably see that most of my stamps on the bottom are black with StazOn. I definitely need to get that StazOn cleaner, but I just love how crisp and clean the image comes out when it's stamped with StazOn. So I've inked up my sentiment, and I'm going to use my clear block and position it at the bottom right corner. I love my clear blocks. I can see exactly where I'm stamping. So I'm going to press firmly and lift straight up. Don't rock your stamps because you don't want that halo. And there you go. Nice and crisp and clean. So now that I have that done, I'm going to look at my kites. Now, I've chosen Real Red, Daffodil Delight, and Tempting Turquoise, as I mentioned before, for my kites, and we're going to adhere these to our card using Dimensionals. I love Dimensionals because you can also use the very edges and you don't waste a piece, but for these it'd be nice to just use one full dimensional. So I'm just going to get those ready, and I'm kind of thinking I want to do yellow on the right side. So let's position him over here. And then my Real Red right in the middle. I'm going to put that one a little bit higher. And then Tempting Turquoise. Down here. Actually, I'm going to move this a little. You kind of have a little space, a little window of time where you can pick these up off your page if you need to. I try not to, but I want to make sure those have a great little layout. So I'm going to leave them like that, and I'm going to use my kite string. Where did I put that kite string? Here it is. Now my Stampin' Scrub is hidden at the moment, so I'm just going to use my lightest color, which is Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to stamp this kite string. And it's okay if it goes over the sentiment because it's yellow. And then I'm going to stamp off my page just to get it a little clean, and I'm going to go with my Real Red and stamp down. Perfect. And last is Tempting Turquoise. And I'm going to have this one kind of go a little bit off the page. There you go. Now the Send Me Soaring stamp set comes with a string, a kite string, and it looks like this. But today I'm just going to use my Marvelous marker in, my Stampin Write marker in Basic Black. And you'll see why. I'm going to have them all come down to kind of the same point. Because I have a piece of twine that I'm going to glue there with my Tombo. But I'm going to do that last because I'm going to need to let it dry. So I'm going to use my snail and snail this to my Wild Wasabi. And you'll notice that my cards have a very chunky, thick border, and that's just how I prefer my cards. I like the way they look. And to give this a little extra punch, I'm going to use my matte pack and my paper piercing tool. And I'm going to add some little holes to the edge of my card. Now what I love about this matte pack is there's really no measuring involved. You can just kind of eyeball it, and it makes it really easy to see where you're poking. So here's my paper piercing tool, and I'm going to do 5 across and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the corner, so I'm going to go down. That counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. So we're going to start here, and we're going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that just adds a little something. I don't even know what the word is, but I like the way it looks. And then lastly, I'm going to add 3 mini brads to the bottom. I'm just going to poke myself another 3 holes right on the bottom. And 3 just is the number that sits at the top of my mind. I think it's maybe because I have 3 children, and it's just always, that number just comes to me always. So I'm going to use 3 mini brads to embellish the bottom. And I love mini brads. I love the way they look. They add just a little bit of shine to your cards. And yeah. Now these, I punched these actually a little bit too close together, but when you make yours, make sure that you punch them just a little bit more spaced apart. And now I'm going to map this on my pool party. Use a little bit of snail again, and you can see all the business back here. The poked holes and the snail and the mini brads. So want to make sure you do that all before you mat it onto your final card base. And you're going to center that onto your pool party. And we're almost done. The last thing you're going to do is take a piece of twine, and at the moment I cannot find the piece of twine that I already tied for you. Here it is. For this, you're going to want to use Tombo glue. So you're going to Tombo back at that spot where we have all the kite strings meeting. Tombo a little glue there, and stick your twine. And I think that just gives it that very last 3D thing that we need to wrap this whole card up together in one nice little package. You have your kites, your sentiment with your arrow pointing up, your beautiful clouds, your mini brads for a little shine on your card, and that last 3D aspect is your twine holding all your kites together. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked it. Feel free to email me with any questions. Thank you.